Pastor Mack Morris. Mack Morris is an awesome name. It sounds like a rapper name. Well, he is not a rapper. He's most certainly not a rapper. He's in Mobile, Alabama. I don't know how they pronounce it there, how they prefer people pronounce it. And he slammed Nike in a sermon. This is pretty funny.
And be tolerant and love us and let us do what we want to do. I don't know about you. I'm a little tired of that. I'm not being ugly. Some of our values are being strained. I'm going to tell you what. For 30 years, I've been jogging a long time. Broke my leg when I was in high school. Started jogging then, and like Forrest Gump, I've been running ever since. But when I first started jogging, when I got to where I could afford jogging shoes, the first pair of jogging shoes I wore were Nike jogging shoes. That was in the early 80s. I've been wearing Nike jogging shoes since 1980. I got news for you. I bought my last pair of Nike shoes. I not only have Nike shoes, I got Nike wristbands, sweatbands. Yeah, I want to tell you, I got Nike headbands. I got Nike headbands. I ain't using that no more. What are you talking about, preacher? Colin Kaepernick has just inked a contract with Nike. Nobody knows and nobody's telling how many multi-millions of dollars that it's going to be, simply because he does not want to stand when the national anthem is being sung. A guy in a baseball game the other day was asked to sing the national anthem. And he sang the national anthem on his knees. America may not be the best country in the world, and we've got a lot of faults, but I'm telling you what, a lot of folks died for the sake of what that flag represents.
All right, keep going, Pastor. Keep it. What does it represent? Finish the thought. Finish the thought. It's supposed to represent freedom. So that's they always miss it. They always miss it because they're so wrapped up in the bullshit symbolism. A lot of people died for that flag, so in order to honor that flag, you should do the opposite of what you're supposed to do. That's what he's arguing for. That flag, people fought and died, and the argument goes, hey, they fought and died and they're trying to protect our rights. Now, that gets sketchy, especially post-World War II, when we're doing a lot of offensive wars, and basically the people in the military are being used as a pawn of the deep state and corporations, and we don't need to get into all that right now. We can digress from that, but just let's say, at our highest aspiration, the fighting is supposed to be to protect our rights. The First Amendment protects freedom of speech, free protest, free media, freedom of religion, all that stuff. But free speech and free protest, pretty important. So whenever they say, like, I can't believe people fought and died for that flag, and now Colin Kaepernick is doing exactly what he should do that's in the spirit of that flag. It's like they don't get the irony, and it drives me crazy. So there's a bunch of stuff there that I want to respond to. I mean, he said, Colin Kaepernick's getting how many millions because he doesn't want to stand for the anthem. Well, no, he got this Nike deal, and he did. My guess is Nike recognizes he did something to try to protest police brutality, and in the process, he sacrificed his fucking career. Now, when he did this, did he know that somebody's going to come around later and say, hey, we'll give you a deal? He didn't know that. He put everything on the fucking line to take a stand because he cares deeply about this issue, police brutality, which has been plaguing the country. And he said, I'm gonna do something about this, and I'm gonna bring attention to it. But instead, what happens? All the people on the right, or on the far right, I should say, who are watching this, there's this they obfuscate. This is obfuscation. That's what that is. Where they go, oh, I know you say that it's about this issue, but I'm just going to pretend like you hate our troops and you hate the anthem. Well, then you're playing a game of pretend. That's what you're doing. Because he's very clear about what he's doing. That Kaepernick is very clear about it. And by the way, Kaepernick spoke to a veteran and asked the veteran, hey, how can I try to bring attention to this issue in a way that's respectful? And the veteran said, because I guess Kaepernick was sitting for the anthem, and the veteran said, no, what you should do is you should kneel for the anthem because that's respectful of the song while at the same time bringing attention to the issue that you want to bring attention to. So Kaepernick went out of his way to try to be respectful in his peaceful protest to bring attention to a serious issue, and he's still getting slammed by these people. So it's just sad. And there's one other part of that I wanted to bring up. At the beginning, he's talking about tolerance. He's like, they want us to be tolerant. I'm a little tired of that. I love that admission because it's like, dude, that's the part you weren't supposed to say out loud. Because you kind of undermine the rest of your argument. They say they want me to be tolerant. I want to be intolerant. How about that? It's so goofy. And as a final point, listen, these guys, they think they're rebels when they do stuff like this, but in reality, they're the snowflakes. They're the snowflakes. So, and I get it. It's, NFL's private company. They could do what they want. They could fire him or Kaepernick or whatever, but it's not about the legality of the First Amendment. It's about the principle of the First Amendment. So the principle of free speech and free protest is at play here. And that they just want to ignore and brush aside and focus on the legality of it to dodge the substantive issue in question. So you're not a rebel, you're a snowflake. The real rebel will be the guy who put his entire career on the line for taking a stand on a political issue he cared deeply about that affects a lot of people. And final point, it's not like all of a sudden Nike or Angels. I just want to be clear about that because they still have terrible labor practices. I'm sure they have sweatshops. So it's not like all of a sudden they're really woke. No, it's that they thought this was a good business opportunity for them. So they did the right thing, perhaps for the wrong reasons. And I'll take it because I think they're right on this particular issue. But while you're at it, maybe get rid of the sweatshops.